Okay, so need another one? I'm pretty sure I handed the right amount. Make sure you didn't have two.
Yeah, make sure I don't have to.
Okay, so like I said, what we're doing is we're just reviewing, okay? This is stuff we've been doing this week. So on this first one, this is just where we're doing our standard factoring, okay? So I'm thinking of multiple or factors of negative 30 that add up to positive 13. So let's just run through the list. What can I multiply to get 30? 130, 215, 310, and 5 times 6. Okay? So now I'm thinking, all right, which of these is going to get me to 13?
3.
Now, we're going to have to be careful here because look, 2 and 15 can get to 13, right?
Yes.
And 3 and 10 can get to 13. So I'm going to have to think about what's going on with that. I know it's not these two. Those don't get me to 13 regardless. Okay? So it's going to be one of these two. Now, here's the thing. This has to be a negative 30. The way you get a negative by multiplying is one has to be positive, one has to be negative. So,
2 should be negative.
okay? So let's think about this. Let's think about the 3 and 10 real quick. What if I made this negative? Okay? Negative 3 times 10 is negative 30, right? Yep. But what's negative 3 plus 10? 7. That don't work. What if I make this negative? 3 plus negative 10 would be what? Negative 7. Not that. So actually, it's not even these. So it's going to be somehow a combination of these. So is it the negative on the 2 or the 15?
2.
It's got to be on the 2, right? Okay. So negative 2 times positive 15 is negative 30. So that the first part of that's good. Then negative 2 plus 15 is what?
13.
Is positive 13. So that is the one I want. Whoops, this is x's. X minus 2 and x plus 15. All right, number 2. All right. What can I multiply to get 24? 124, 212,
3 and 8.
3 and 8,
4 and 6.
4 and 6, and then that just gets us where we turn around and just walk back the other way. So those are the factors of 24. Now again, the 24 is negative. So I know in one of these, one of them has to be negative, one has to be positive to multiply to get this negative.
3 and 8.
Okay, good. So 3 and 8 is the one that can get me to a 5. There's no way that can't, this can, that gets me to a 2 or 10, so that don't work. So I know it's got to be the 3 and 8 somehow. And this needs to be a negative 5, so which one of these needs to be negative?
Negative 8.
Needs to be on the 8. 3 times negative 8 is negative 24, and 3 plus and negative 8 is negative 5, so that's what I want. X plus 3 and x minus 8. All right, let's drop down and look at number 16. Okay, so on this one I need to pull out greatest common factor on this one. So what can I pull out of each of those terms?
2.
2. If I pull a 2 out of each piece. All right, so if I pull or divide a 2 out of 2x squared, what's left?
X squared.
X squared. If I divide a 2 out of a 20x, what's left?
10.
10x. And if I divide 2 out of 32, what's left? Is 16. And then from here, now the 2 on the outside is still part of the answer, so I'm bringing that down. But at this point, I'm not thinking about that 2 anymore. I'm just thinking about inside the parentheses. Okay, so factors of 16 that add up to 10. 116, 28, 44. Which of those adds up to 10?
2 8.
2 and 8, obviously. So we have 2. On the outside, we have x plus 2. And we have x plus 8. It's just pencils. I thought it was Skittles. Okay? All right. This is the same stuff that we did yesterday. It's you did for your homework last night. Factoring by grouping.
I didn't have three of them.
Yes.
already done.
Oh, whoops! I gave you my copy. You can just keep it.
I wouldn't have said anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what can I pull out of the first group there?
X squared. Or
Okay, I can pull an x squared from the variables, but from the coefficients, the numbers in front, what's the biggest number? A 2. So I can pull a 2 and an x squared out of each of those. So I can pull out a 2x squared. So if I pull a 2x squared, or when I say pull, I mean like divide. If I divide a 2x squared out of 14x cubed, what's going to be left? 7x. And if I divide a 2x squared out of negative 10x squared, what's going to be left? It's going to be a negative 5. All right, now in the second group, I want to pull something out so that in parentheses I have a 7x minus 5 there also. So if I pull out a positive 3, if I divide a positive 3 out of 21x, what's left? 7x. And if I divide a 3 out of negative 15, what's left? Negative 5. And that's exactly what I want, because now I've got this and this as the same. So this first piece has a 7x minus 5. The second piece has a 7x minus 5, so I can factor that out, pull it out. So we have a 7x minus 5. And then what does that leave? 2x squared plus 3. Yep, see it. What I'm doing now is just looking at what's left. That right there, 2x squared plus 3. Bless you. Okay, and then let's turn to the last page. And then here, we're just solving for a single variable, solving for x. Bless you. All right. So on the left-hand side, is there anything I can put together there? The negative 7x and the 4x. So if I put negative 7x and 4x together, what's that going to give me? So I'm going to have a negative 3x, still with the plus 7, nothing changed that, and still a 7 on the right, nothing changed that. All right, now my goal is to solve for the x, so what's my first step here? Subtract 7 from both sides. Now what happens to these two 7s right here?
0.
Okay, they turn to 0. And I want you showing your work on this. Don't just write an answer down. I want to see work. So negative 3x plus 0 is what? Negative 3x. And then on the right-hand side, what's 7 minus 7? 0. See, that's the reason I do this like this, okay? Talking about this being 0 right here. Because in your mind, if they just cancel out, then you're thinking, well, 7 minus 7, that just cancels, so what, they're just like nothing there? No, there's a 0 there, okay? It's different than just being nothing. Okay? So now, negative 3x equals 0, what am I going to do from here? Divide by negative 3. That way this turns into a positive 1. This needs to be a positive 1, so we get 1x equals, what's 0 divided by negative 3? 0. So on this one, the answer is x equals 0. And that doesn't mean x is just like there's nothing. It means that it is 0. X equals 0. Okay? So that's what you're doing. Just going to let you practice on that today. And you can get grouped up. Remember, no more than 4 per group. Do not split the work up. Don't say, okay, you do this page, I'll do this page, you do the other page. It's not like that. Help each other through the problems. Okay? Go for it.